only thing we got's one little vote. N4AK, W7IUC.
W7IUC N4AK. You're right, and I look forward to that. It's approaching, let's see, I'm not sure if they're going to have a pre-net tonight or not, but I'm going to stand by here a while and see if anybody else wants to jump in here and chat. This is N4AK standing by.
Glenn, I didn't hear soul in there. God bless, take care, buddy. Sure nice to hear you. Been a few years, hasn't it? I'm sure glad to hear you in there. Like I said, it's been a long time. And we'll look for you down the wire here a little bit. I've been getting on pretty well here since I got the rig over in the shop. Not in the shop, in the house here. And it's pretty easy for me just to turn it on in the morning and let the old Johnson Ranger warm up, the Drake 2B. And it seems to work pretty good. Of course, it only puts out about W4AK, W7IUC, I'll be clear.
Yeah, I got a little radio by the bed, and I hear you guys in the morning, but I'm too lazy to get up. Dave and all of you chatting, so you got a good signal in there. N4AK, standing by on this frequency.
Good evening, Glenn, N4AK, W4AX, Mac in Ball Ground. And I thought the net started at 7. Is this one start at 7:30 over?
I don't know. I thought it started around, well, it'll be Florida time. It'll be Central Standard Time. Mac, over.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I have trouble with this net. You know, I pretty much have the Eagle net and the SAMRC down. They both start at the same time now, and I thought this one did as well. So, hope you're doing well tonight, and it's been a beautiful day here at W4AX.
W4AX and 4AK. Well, it's beautiful here also. Just got out and cut the lawn. The real lawn hadn't started to grow yet, but a lot of weeds are beginning to pop up. You got a great signal popping in here tonight, no question about it. So I was noticed that a fellow from my hometown who's now running the Signal Corps. He's made Brigadier General. I think his last name is Howard. Over.
Yeah, that's great. I've been out so long, Glenn. I don't think I would know him. Plus, I was in the infantry as a U.S. Army Ranger, so didn't have a whole lot to do with the Signal Corps. But you know, I've been out since. You know, I think it's 96. I'd have to think about it for a minute, but I've been out a long time, and all the guys I served with have long since retired. Over.
Well, that's the same way. Here, I wasn't in but 4 years, but all the guys that were commissioned with me, and a lot of them stayed in the infantry, and after about 20 years, they're retired. That's very common for them. A lot of the guys that were very average made lieutenant colonels, and a few colonels sprinkled in. I graduated North Georgia in 1963, and so I had 4 years of active duty. And it was okay. I had the first 3 years, it was like a honeymoon. I was in Germany, and my wife could be with me, and then I got curtailed a few months to do a tour in Vietnam, and I wouldn't give anything for the experience, but it's not something I'd care to repeat, and I wasn't in the infantry or the Marines, so it wasn't as bad on me. Over.
All right, Glenn, N4AK, W4AX, and first, thank you for your service to our country. And especially for that Vietnam War. I tell you, I won't get on my soapbox, but I've seen so much of that stuff, and I have a pretty negative opinion on war. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, we were always out on the tip of the spear. And but yeah, I mean, I got out after 23 years. I made colonel, but I could see the writing on the wall that I was not going to make general. And I was getting kind of tired of, I got out while Clinton was president, and I was getting kind of tired of all the, I'll just say the political stuff that was going on at that time towards and around the military. So I think it's gotten much worse now, but I'm proud to have served. I'm glad to have served. It was my honor to serve, but I don't know that I could recommend it as a career for anyone else now. My son and grandson both served, and so I'm proud of them. But it's just not the same that it was. Glenn, N4AK, W4AX.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, when I was in North Georgia, we'd do the parades on Sunday afternoon, and you'd get a chill running up and down your spine. So people were very patriotic back then. So congratulations to you, though. Making colonel is fantastic, and no question about that. I had several guys in my class make that, and lately, with a shortage in the Army, we've had several generals come out of North Georgia. The one I know for sure is down there at the Signal Corps, and he was North Georgia. And I see the North Georgia alumni bulletin comes out, and a lot of guys made it. So anyway, but they made it through combat arms. I think maybe one guy was, I remember he was a physics major, and I'm not sure what branch he was in, but one guy was in the chemical corps, but most of the guys that made the rank were in the combat arms. W4AX and 4AK.
Anyone else with a whiskey prefix?
Whiskey 4 Alpha X-ray.
That was a whiskey 4 Alpha X-ray, is that correct?
He's confirming you, Mac. Can you copy him?
Not anymore. I heard him a moment ago. I can stand by. It's tough to copy. And apologies. We did not realize the net had started. We certainly would not have been transmitting. W4AX.
W4AX. Okay, moving along. Anyone with a kilo prefix, please?
K4KHV.
All right, I've got John, VZS, I've got Jimmy, KHC. Anyone else with a kilo prefix, please? Anyone having a November prefix, please?
November 4, Juliet Kilo.
November 4, Juliet Kilo. Any other additional November call? Alpha calls. Anyone having an alpha prefix?
Excuse me. Alpha Fox 10 F1Z.
F1Z, Mark, good to have you with us. Anyone else, please? All right, I'm going to go back to the top, and I'm sure we'll pick some others up along the way. And Roy, you have one bringing it in. W4I diddle. Go ahead, Roy.
All right, thank you, Richard. Good evening to you and all the net. This is W4I Diddle Roy in Pensacola. And this Miss Minnie Pearl used to say on the Grand Ole Opry, how to be here. And I'm having trouble keeping my transmitter keyed up, so there you are. Well, anyway, I'm running a JC990 this evening, a little SB200 amplifier, running about 200 watts when I can keep it keyed up. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great week, and whatever you do, let's all celebrate Easter Sunday. And any way you feel like celebrating it, there you go. And so there you are. Well, let's see. Let me close, Richard, with saying this one little statement. I hope everybody out there in Radio Land feels as good as I was this evening. Back to you, Richard. Great job. Appreciate you picking up the net.
Okay, Roy. We all doing good tonight. Wishes it all. Okay, this is W4WFL. Not a whole lot here today. Been busy out. Finished just about all my planning for this year's garden and put out a bunch of watermelon and cantaloupe and hopefully it wasn't as good as I would have liked it to be, but hoping for a good year. I got all my other stuff's coming up nicely, but I tell you, this is the coolest spring I think we've had, because I was looking at some pictures of a year ago right now, and we were a lot further along with warm weather and so forth. So I think we're getting some cold temperatures from the Gulf of Mexico. I think it's still rather cool, and when it blows ashore, it sort of gives you a little chill. But other than that, it's been a great day today, and everything seems to be working well with the Bill Reek of Johnson Viking. And that's what I have there, Richard. So anyway, we'll catch you next time, next week on the Mullet. W4GCM. This is W4WFL in Pensacola, Florida. W4WFL. I know how it is to get tongue-tied. It's the worst thing. That's to do the neck control. As I said. I'm going to break with you, sir. Thank you for your check-in this evening. And go to John, our net control manager, W4TP. John, go ahead. I rely on him solely. We talk stuff over, so if ever you have any complaints, you need to talk with us both. We try our best. W4TP from W4GCM.
Hey, Richard, W4TP. Good evening to everybody on the net tonight. We're calling KW1 tonight. Got the other transmitter rewired in the audio section in there, so didn't get done. Ordered 1,000 feet of wire to jack, so ought to have enough cable go around in here. And you did not mention the frequency measuring contest results. I'll let you do that if you'd like. We thank everybody for participating in the frequency measuring. It was good at Don did it for us, WD4EGM, Robertsdale. And anyway, I'll let Richard fill in the details tonight, but we do have kind of an unusual situation with that, so we'll let Richard fill us in. That's it, Richard. 73, everybody. W4TP by W4GCM.
W4TP from W4GCM. And you're absolutely right, and I appreciate it. I've got all my notes written down, I just can't read. But I wanted to mention the frequency measuring contest, which was held the 21st of March, just last week. We had 3 winners. In first place, we had K5 CUB Lee, and Ralph, KB8BKA. And each of those, one being CUB, was 6.6 hertz low, and Ralph, KB8BKA, was 6.6 hertz. And then we had Tom, KB9TAB, at 14.90 hertz low. And all of those individuals are given the opportunity to either select a counter, a frequency counter, solid state, or a certificate, whichever they prefer. And I want to thank Don, W4GCM, for doing the measurement and so forth. He's got a lot of sophisticated regular equipment and is able to look at the signal and determine where they are with respect to frequency. So very good evening to all of them, and congratulations to all those who have won. So moving along, we're going to break with the 4TP and go to W9TAB. Tom, are you there?
Roger that, Richard. I appreciate you running the net. You sounded good. And I'm on the Collins 32V2 with the Rutland 75A4 receiver this time. Given the 75A2 arrest, you know, it's not good to leave these two too long here. But anyway, conditions are rough, but I can hear everybody. Fingers crossed. That's about all I got for the net. Both Mike Matthew and W9TV. Once again, Richard, thank you very much for running the net.
W9TV, Tom, thank you so much. Appreciate it very much. And I'm just making sure that I noted your call sign correctly, W9. And of course, I said K9. My mistake. But it's W9TAB, and that was for the, also one of the winners for the frequency counters. So I'm going to break with you and go to WB4KKJ. Greg, are you there?
Good evening, Richard. Great job you're doing tonight. Under the conditions, they're a little tough hearing everybody, but just learning the rhythm tonight. But just on the Johnson Viking Ranger, and the receiver's Collins 75S1. I know that they'll run the legal limit on the Drake L4B for an amplifier. So microphone's the D104, and got an 80-meter diameter left about 32 feet. Other than that, we had a good night of fun. Had a couple guys get together, and we all got together, hams, and had a good lunch. So had to swap some stories. But we left you alone, Richard. We didn't say anything about you this time. Maybe next time. Hi. Turn it back over to you. W4GCM, WB4KKJ. Great job, Richard.
WB4KKJ, that's Greg. Greg, thanks so much. And it's okay. I'm a big boy. I can take it. So go ahead and talk about me. I appreciate it very much. Greg, thanks for all that you do, and thanks for being a regular on our net this evening. All of the evenings past and present. So we're going to break with you and go to W4AX. Mac, are you there? W4 Alpha X-ray. Mac, are you there?
Contact.
Go ahead, contact.
This is KF4TXQ. I don't hear Mac, but anyway, I just wanted to let you know I was here. Over.
Well, that's right. A couple of times there, my buddy. So if you can, go ahead, Sam, with the statement for the Gulf Coast Law Society.
Roger, the band is kind of weird, and I'm kind of weird myself, so that's okay. This is Kilo Fox 4 Tango X-Ray Quebec, and here is the official mystic statement for the Gulf Coast Mullet Society. The mullet has a gizzard like a chicken. Could it be that the mullet is the chicken of the sea? KF4TXQ, back to net.
Thank you for appreciate it so much. I was worried. I had not heard you earlier this evening prior to that, but I felt certain that you'd be there, and then as I called you 2 or 3 times and I got no response, I really had to sit back and wonder. But I'm glad that you're okay, and that we have delivered our mystic statement. That's the important, well, not the most important thing, but that's one of the important things about being in net control is that you get the mystic statement presented. Sam, thanks so much for all that you do, and look forward to talking with you soon. So we're going to break with Sam, KF4TXQ, and John, are you there? K4VZS. W4GCM, K4VZS. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here, and I think the band is just starting to wake up. But anyway, the guys up in Atlantis didn't hear us tonight. No problem. I wanted to say hello to Mark. Spent a few hours with him last weekend or weekend before. I don't remember which one now. But enjoyed the time down there, and I got to look at a Cessna finally. And we discussed the fate of the world and so on, and just a very enjoyable afternoon. I don't know. I think I said I was on this kilowatt, and the HO60, I don't remember, but I find my memory is not near what it used to be. But all in all, still up here playing radios, 3 months behind, but trying to catch up. W4GCM, K4VZS, press call. K4VZS, listen to me. John, thanks so much for everything that you do. I appreciate you as a person and as a close friend. And don't worry about anything whatsoever. You're doing a fine job. And hey, if you didn't have projects before you, you will have accomplished everything, and that's our you need to be looking forward, and you are, and I appreciate it. So I'm back with you, and we're going to go to K4KH3. Jimmy, go ahead. We're going to all check-ins from way back. K4KH3. Full night state, a lot of wind, but no rain. We're running 51 tonight, so we'll get lower power. Did have a couple of vehicles over here from the fleet, John and Dave, Rhonda. They came down half an hour over there, so far away. Way like man about the bus. We're going to turn it back to you, and I appreciate you calling me up. You did a good job. I always appreciate your efforts there. W4GCM,
Good evening, Mariana.
K4KH3, that's Jimmy in Mariana. And very good evening to you, my friend. Thank you for your check-ins all these many years, and we'll try to listen to you in the future. So we're going to break with you. Go to November calls, N4JK.
I am, Richard. 14. I am from N4JK. Man, it was a beautiful day tonight. And went out and ran a few errands with Kate. And really, that's been about it. I've been extremely lazy, so it's been an even better day than usual. I'll be better tomorrow, though. Working on trying to put together the old Johnson amplifier tonight, and just getting started on that. That'll keep me busy for a couple of weeks. Good to hear about all the goings-on from everybody, and wish everyone a good evening. Sure, I'm glad you're here tonight, Richard. Appreciate your running the net. W4GCM from N4JK.
N4JK from W4GCM. Thanks for having me. You're very active in amateur radio. You do a lot to support the efforts of radio and so forth. And I very much appreciate it, as do many others. So I want to say good evening to you, Art, and hello to your bride, Miss Kate. And we'll go to AF1Z. Mark, where have you been? AF1Z, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't expect it. I'm sorry. Let me just get squared away, and I'll be right back with you, Richard. Let's see, W4GCM. Hang on 1 second, if you will. Pardon me. Okay. Try that. Let's go here. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. I got the order mixed up. But when I was going to check in, there was another QSO on frequency. Didn't realize. And then I heard you call me, and I don't know. I just didn't write it down right. But Richard, thank you very much, sir. AF1Z in O'Brien, Florida. Not much. Just I was going out around the back here, cleaning up some stuff. And heard you call me. So running the usual Collins transmitter, a la K4TP. W4TP, I'm sorry, John. And Navy RBB receiver. Everybody's up and down. Fan conditions aren't great. But as always, enjoy listening to everybody on the Mullets. Special out to John Milner, who it's always fun when you come over here, John. And I've made progress with that little Drake setup. Of course, first thing that ever happens here is everything has to come off. The covers come off. Give it a visual and look at it. Transmitter. The little transmitter's putting out fine. Like 110, maybe even more watts on the bird watt meter. And so the next step is to the receiver is hopeless. It's going to have to get maybe I'll slide an R4B I've got in there and get that working. But thank you again, and all the best to everybody on here. And hope band conditions improve a little bit, Richard, because it's not so great right now. W4GCM, everybody, F1Z.
F1Z, that's Mark. And Mark, thank you so much for your check-in. And Mark is the last individual that I listed for being in the net tonight. If there's anyone else that would care to check into the W4GCM Gulf Coast Mullet Society net, please come now.
W4GCM, W4OLJ.
W4NKM.
Kilowatt November 4, Mexico Echo.
There's a kilowatt 4 November call in there.
W4GCM, and the net is W4OLJ. Okay, Richard. Boy, it's really rough up here. I can hear you part of the time, and part of the time I can't. But anyway, that's just the way it goes. Been a nice day here today. A little cool, but the sun's shining bright and really nice. So I won't hold it long since the conditions are not too good. The band's just not in good shape up here anyway. But I'm here, at least I'm here in part of the stations. So back to you there, and 73 to everybody. You're doing a great job, Richard. W4GCM, W4OLJ.
W4OLJ, Virgil, thank you so much. Virgil is a long-time check-in to this net, and we appreciate his continued participation. And I had noted that it was unusual not to hear from you.
Virgil, thank you so much for tuning in and making me feel a whole lot better. There was another station just after you, KW4, and I thought in November something that wanted to check in, and if that station will please do so, come now.
Yeah, good evening, Richard. This is Larry, WB4, November Kilo Mike, over.
KN4 Mike Echo, that would be Dr. John up in Killen, Alabama. I'm not really sure. I couldn't get enough out of his call to distill his suffix. It might very well be Dr. John.
No, that was WB4NKM Larry up in Wise, Virginia, Richard.
NKM, I heard that also.
Mike Echo is here as well.
Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, thank you for the relay, Virgil. I guess conditions are pretty rough, but I can hear Richard pretty good up here. He's probably running more tired than I am. But good evening to all the mullets, and we won't hold it too long. Pretty day today up here in Wise, Virginia, and we'll hope for better conditions at another time. W4GCM, WB4NKM.
I'm really not hearing him. I don't know if that was Dr. John or another station. I'm assuming that it was KN5.
No, that was Larry up in Wise, Virginia, WB4NKM, and it's just band conditions because he's strong here like he always is. He's just really strong here. Just bad conditions, Richard. This is W4OLJ.
Virgil, thank you so much, and please let him know that I have his call sign noted for the count, but unfortunately I could not copy. It's not his fault, it's just the conditions.
Yeah, I copied him, Virgil. Thanks a lot.
Mike Echo, QRP.
I heard you, Richard. W4 MAC.
Mike Echo, QRP.
Relay.
Go ahead, relay.
This is KF4TXQ again, and that was KN4 Mike Echo. Just checked in again down at Killen, Alabama, but he's low power, I think, over.
Dr. John, I had written his call sign down, but I could not distinguish whether or not it was his station or another. Sam, thank you very much, and please let him know that he's been noted, and we appreciate his participation.
Did you copy that, Dr. John? KN4 Mike Echo, KF4TXQ.
Roger, Sam. Roger. QRP, 14 watts. 14 watts, Sam. Thanks for the relay. KN4 Mike Echo.
KN4 Mike Echo just checked in with 14 watts. So anyway, I copied you all right there, Dr. John, but it's not your usual great signal. But anyway, that's just band conditions. That's the way it is. And Virgil, you're like the Rock of Gibraltar coming in to Lake Martin. So anyway, back to you there, net control. W4GCM, KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama. Over.
Sam, it's amazing how much you've come up. As I said, I had tried to contact you earlier in the net, and heard that you're here now. Things are just changing. It's a very vibrant evening, and please know that KN4E, Dr. John is logged in, and KV4
W4OLJ. So all of those have been added to our ticket this evening. Is there anyone else who would like to check into this bit? Please come now.
KD4UMU, Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
WA4II.
And W4II.
Well, there was somebody in Kentucky that was ahead of me, but I just barely can hear. I just heard you say I asked for check-ins, and but the band conditions are so bad. I can't hear a lot of the stations, and but anyhow, good to hear you try it anyway. Thanks for picking me up. This is WA4II. Let's see, W4GCM. This is WA4II. I guess that's the way to do it.
Okay, Greg. W4 India, Greg. There was another station out there. I think it was a whiskey call. If you'd like to try again, please come now.
Whiskey 4, Mike Alpha Charlie. Mexico, America, Canada.
Okay, W4MAC. Very good evening, Jennifer. And I'm going to browse the roster to see if we have any roster. I'm not sure that we do. I'm not sure that we don't. So let me just perusing, and I don't see you. So are you a new check-in?
I've been checking in for the past couple of weeks. Not a real long-term check-in, but I've been in there for the past few weeks. I'm trying to get to be a regular if you can hear me down here. Their banking systems are a little bit rough, but I'm trying with everything I got to get in there and make sure you can hear me. W4 NXT, right?
Roger, Roger. Well, I understand that. What you got? I wonder what your first name is, please.
Name is Max, just like an old log truck. Mike Alpha Charlie Kilo. Playing with a helicopter's HT20 and had it run into a Drake L4. Going pretty much legal limit actually right now. It's, apparently the band conditions are pretty rough.
Roger, Roger. Did you say it was Mac or Mike Alpha Charlie Kilo?
Yep, Mike Alpha Charlie Kilo. The name is Mac. M-A-C-K.
Roger, Roger. Well, thank you, Mac. I appreciate your check-in this evening. It's a bit of a struggle. I was concerned with how the conditions are running this evening, but it seems that we're making it even though we can't. It sounds like everything is going well. Mac, I want to thank you for your check-in this evening. Hope that you'll be back to join us in the upcoming months. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to mention the fact that we attend our frequency measuring contest, which took place on the 21st of this month. And we had three winners. We had K5CV, Lee, and we had KB8BKA, Ralph. And each of them, this is interesting. One was 6.6 hertz low in frequency, and one was 6.6 hertz high in frequency. And then Tom, W9TAB, was second place, and he was at 14.90. So I want to be sure to thank Don, WD9EFG, for measuring the frequencies and doing a nice spreadsheet to let everybody know where in fact they fell, with frequency being at 3885 kilocycles. And anyway, we're going to break and go back to the top. Is there anyone else who would care to check into the net? Please come now.
Kilo Delta 4, Uniform Mike, Uniform.
Uniform Mike, Uniform, is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, please go ahead and give us your name and so forth.
All right, very good. The name here is Dan, Delta Alpha November, and located here in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, just southwest of Louisville, and operating on Flex 3K with a Commander amplifier. So band conditions was not good the first go-around. You didn't hear me at all, so maybe they're starting to improve a little bit. So that's about all we got, and so had fun participating in the frequency measuring deal there. So anyway, had the old volume on there. Anyway, back around to net control W4GCM from KD4UMU.
So KD4UMU, is that correct? If I got your call sign?
Roger. Kilo Delta 4 Uniform Mike Uniform.
Okay, Dan. Thank you so much. It's tough on this end too, and especially when you're dealing with stations that you haven't dealt with frequently. And I'm going to look in UMU. I want to see if you've been on our roster, and I'm not going to let you know or have not. UMU, and I don't see your name, so maybe you have not. But as you said, you've been checking in the last several months, or weeks, and we appreciate that. So I'm going to break with you, Dan, and ask if there's anyone else who would care to check into the net. Guess what, Dan? I see you. You're in Shepherdsville.
Roger.
Okay. Well, Dan, thank you so much. You are on our roster, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to break with you, and we're going to go back to the top. We can see who are on our room and go through the various calls, and we hit or miss in terms of those that are available or not available. So, at this time, the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net will conclude. And I wish to thank all of those who participated in our net this Thursday evening. Our next net will be 1 week from today. And looks like John, W4CP, will be our net control next week. And he's located in Bay Minette, Alabama. So with that, W4GCM. Now returning this frequency back to regular amateur use. 33, everybody. This is WA4GCM. Richard now clear, and thanking everybody for your check-in participation.
Great job, Richard, under bad circumstances. I did it.
Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Richard. Good job, W9KB.
Thanks, Tom.
Got that, Richard. John's going to give you 10% on your pay for work through these tough conditions.
I appreciate it, Art. 10% is better than nothing.